Today's a big day for efforts to bring an end to the war in Ukraine. The US President Donald Trump is hosting his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelenskyy at the White House, and this deal is going to be signed. It's about granting the United States access to Ukraine's mineral wealth. I'll read you a couple of highlights. It says Washington has provided significant financial and material support to Ukraine since Russia's full-scale invasion, and that it supports Ukraine's efforts to obtain security guarantees. Well, let's unpack it now with the view from our correspondents in Washington and first, Kyiv.
Thanks, Ray. Volodymyr Zelenskyy will use this visit to try to persuade President Trump to provide security guarantees. He has stressed that the agreement being signed today is just a framework agreement. The text states explicitly that a further treaty on the creation of a joint fund will be agreed on later. Ukraine has agreed to pay 50% of future revenues from its natural resources into this fund. The fund will be used for the development and reconstruction of Ukraine. This was not an easy deal to agree, and there were multiple versions before agreement was reached. One earlier version said Ukraine would pay the United States $500 billion in return for Washington's wartime support. For Zelenskyy, it was very important that this clause was removed. Now over to Todd Prince in Washington.
Thank you, Irina. Donald Trump has called today's framework agreement a big deal, and it's something that he's been talking about for a while. So Trump can say that he's turning his campaign promises into actions, that he's recouping the U.S. taxpayers' money that was given to Ukraine. But critics here in Washington point out that the deal does not specifically state that. Today also marks a shift in the tone coming out of the White House. Trump has distanced himself from calling Zelenskyy a dictator. Instead, he has praised the Ukrainian armed forces. But Donald Trump is still refusing to provide security guarantees to Ukraine, and he's continuing to reach out to the Russians. Today's deal is very much on message. If they want our help, what's in it for us? It's an America First message. Now back to you, Ray.
Thanks, Todd and Irina. Well, ahead of this meeting, something happened to remind us all about the backdrop to the visit. Overnight, Russia fired 208 drones at Ukraine, with reports of civilian casualties. Ukraine said it hit back with drone strikes on Russian oil and weapons facilities. Amid the diplomatic moves, the daily reality of war grinds on.